Yo, this is Soul Drum 86 bringing you another video. We're talking 2K again. Didn't think I would be doing this, but I guess you could say that I am intrigued. I still feel the same way that I have, before making this video, but I am intrigued. So, as you all know, they've announced two different covers. Now, even though the covers look cool, let's not get too excited because we all know that these are covers that we're not going to be able to hold in hand, right? It started with 2K24. They had that awesome 40 Years of WrestleMania cover, and we couldn't even, it can only be digital purchase, which to me is ridiculous. Like, why even take the time to make a cover art look good if you can't actually like hold it in your hand? Like, that's the whole point of having something look cool and taking your time to do like something like awesome like that. The only time that you really got to see that, if you were somebody who bought that, was when you turn on your PlayStation and it's in that little box, in your menu where all your other games are. That's pretty much it. Same thing, the Attitude Era, or not moving ahead, but last year, they made it to where the only physical copy that you could have was the standard edition. The Undertaker edition, which was a cool looking cover, in my opinion, it was only digital purchase, and then of course the Bloodline edition was only a digital purchase. So in terms of how the cover art looks, and I need to stop saying cases because we're not going to hold it. The cover art does look cool for the Attitude Era and the Monday Night Wars, you know, deluxe edition, special edition, whatever. They look cool, but let's not get too excited. Now, what I can understand people getting excited about, and this is what has me intrigued. Um, what are they doing? Like, if the rumor is that CM Punk has got a showcase, which I'm not really too concerned about. During CM Punk's entire run, I really wasn't watching WWE anymore. I was like in and out here and there, but I didn't see much of CM Punk's career other than like highlights, maybe a couple matches here and there. I did see the pipe bomb and everything, but that was just when it was uploaded later. I didn't watch that live. So I was already at that time kind of, not really into WWE at the time that he kind of skyrocketed. Um, so there's that. uh, but it does make me curious of what they're adding. Is this going to be like another version of what WWE 13 did with the game, where you're playing through the Attitude Era, which if you're playing through the Attitude Era, they're going to have the Monday Night War thing in there because that was when they were going head to head with WCW. At first, WCW was winning in the ratings. Then WWE eventually just destroyed them in the ratings. What are they going to do? Is it going to be the same way where you're like in the Attitude Era mode in WWE 13? Are you going to play from the start of the era all the way to like the peak, like towards the end? Is it going to be something like that? And just like I've seen in other videos, there's certain wrestlers that were very big in the Attitude Era, and they might not be a part of this. Now, Mankind is going to be a part of it, thankfully. I believe that his contract runs up in the summer, and he's just not going to re-up. So anything that has to do with Mankind, he's going to be in the game, because at first I was worried because you can't do an Attitude Era without Mankind. It's not possible. You have to have Dude Love, Cactus Jack, all of his personas you have to have in the game because he was very pivotal. He was a part of everything, man. When you look at the Attitude Era, Mankind was literally a part of everything. He feuded and teamed up with, so many different people, the Rock and Sock connection. Then when he was feuding with the Rock, you have him and Shawn Michaels battles. You have Mankind and Stone Cold, Dude Love against Stone Cold. You have him and stuff with the Undertaker, Kane, teaming up with Kane. You have so many things. Like, he was always there. Mankind was always there. So it would really be bad to do an Attitude Era without Mankind. But on the other side, I hear people saying like, how can you do that without Sting, which makes sense. Like, how can you? How can you do it without Edge, Christian? Is there a way where they can have a deal kind of like Billy Gunn, where Billy Gunn is in AEW, but they still make action figures of Billy Gunn for WWE, and they still put him in video games. So he still has a pretty cool Legends deal. He has something like Jake the Snake, because Jake the Snake is also no longer with WWE. He's affiliated with AEW, and Jake the Snake is always in everything, and they always make an action figure of him with WWE, with Mattel. So is it going to be something like that where they can do that? I don't know. Because to me, I think you do have to have Edge and Christian. I think it's a lock that the Hardy Boys will be in the game because they're with TNA now. So they're kind of back with WWE because WWE owns TNA, or they have a partnership at least. They don't own them, but they have a partnership. So I imagine with that you'll have the Hardys. But again, when you have the Hardys, yes, you have the Dudleys. The Dudleys were in last year's game, so I'm pretty sure you'll have the Dudleys again. So they're going to need to be there. But you do have to have Edge and Christian there, too. I mean, again, it depends on what matches you pick. But if you do an Attitude Era mode, it feels like you kind of have to have them, associated with it. Uh, so I don't know. This is going to be pretty interesting. Again, I'm intrigued. I can't lie. Now, it doesn't change everything. I'm not going to overhype it and be like, "Oh, I'm back on the 2K board. I'm back on to getting this game," because at the end of the day, um this is cool, but it is a gimmick to sell the game. It's a gimmick to bring people like me back. It's a gimmick to bring you know, uh people who have loved the Attitude Era. That is the era to talk about when it comes to wrestling. That's like the vast majority of fans' favorite era, and it's one of my favorite too. It really is. It's one of my favorite. But I'm somebody who also loves the 80s and the new generation. Like, I'm that guy. I love all of it. Uh, but it's a way to bring people like us back. It's a way to sell the game, and that's a good marketing tool to sell the game, because you're tugging at nostalgia, and you're tugging at something that people across the board widely love. You even hear some new fans talk about the Attitude Era. You know what I mean? I imagine they were the ones who caught up on stuff on the WWE network, or when stuff was on Peacock and whatever. It's like they went back and watched a lot of the old stuff. But Attitude Era is very, very popular, so it makes sense to do this. Um, it's good business to do this, because it even has somebody like me who quit playing the game. It has somebody like me very intrigued. Now, what will this mode be? Because they did bring back an I Quit match, Inferno match, Dumpster match. All of these matches were matches that were very popular during the Attitude Era. A lot of these matches became a thing in the Attitude Era. So I am very, very curious about all of this. I really am. I really, really am. Um, Now, I also will say this. I do think that they have enough superstars at their disposal to make a pretty decent Monday Night Wars mode. And the reason why I say that is because one person who is always missing, who I feel was also important to kind of that start of the Attitude Era, is Owen Hart, because of the Hart Foundation. Um, that was all, a part of the Attitude Era. That was all in the beginning stages. He had some run-ins with DX and stuff like that, like the original three. I shouldn't say, not the original crew with Rick Rude, but just when it became Triple H, Chyna, and Shawn Michaels, you had Owen and Shawn have their feuds and stuff like that. So he's always missing, of course. I mean, we all know the reason of that, but and they make it work without Owen Hart. You know, WWE 13 made it work without Owen. They just had, you know, you just kind of utilize Bulldog and Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Uh, but yeah, I this does have me intrigued, guys. I'm not going to lie, because if you do have a CM Punk mode, right, showcase, then this has to mean something. At least, hopefully, it means something. You can't tease something this big and then it come out and be like a dud. You can't tease something this big and it's just like, oh, you know what I mean? That would be horrible. So I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt, and I'm gonna say that this means a pretty big deal, because when they were teasing the 40 years of WrestleMania, like, fans picked up on it. When they were teasing the 40 years of WrestleMania before 2K24 came out, you know, they were showing like ladders, and they were showing like Stone Cold, a referee shirt, and all this other stuff. So they were doing a lot of things, planting the seeds, and everybody was like, oh, you know what? This could be the 40 years of WrestleMania. And then fans turned out to be right. And look, for what it's worth, the showcase, it got a little repetitive with how many objectives you had to do. But at the end of the day, I still at least did enjoy that showcase, because I was able to play through a lot of old school matches. And then, you know, you had some pretty key matches missing with that. So I think it might just be the same kind of deal where maybe they won't be able to get like an Edge and Christian into the game, people that were very pivotal, because when you look back at the 40 years of WrestleMania, they didn't have any Triple H matches. They didn't have any Triple H matches in that showcase. They didn't have any of the key ones, like when, you know, like any ones where it was the, like, him versus Kane and all. Like, you didn't have a lot of key matches in that 40 years of WrestleMania. I think it's going to be the same here, where you don't have a lot of matches from the Attitude Era, matches that some might put like in their top 10. Those matches might not be available. You know, they're probably going to have Mankind versus Undertaker. They're probably going to have Stone Cold, or yeah, of course they're going to definitely probably do a Stone Cold versus Undertaker match in there. They're probably going to do the first Hell in a Cell with Shawn Michaels in Undertaker. I think there is going to be, just like the 40 years of WrestleMania, I think there will be some repeat matches that were in the Attitude Era mode for WWE 13. So I don't know, man. We'll have to wait and see. But as of right now, I'm intrigued. I'm not hyped. I'm intrigued, because again, this doesn't change anything. 2K is still 2K. You know, it's cool to kind of tease something like this with, you know, oh, is it going to be like a Monday Night War showcase, Attitude Era showcase? I mean, it's all one and the same. But, like, you know, just let's call it the Monday Night War showcase. Maybe you do some WCW matches alongside doing some WWE matches. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. Now, one thing that would be cool is if they take advantage and kind of turn this into a storyline driven mode. And hear me out when I say storyline driven mode. It'd be awesome to have a narrator, you know, pick somebody. They're going to probably pick somebody current, like a Michael Cole or somebody, to narrate the showcase mode. Not narrate during the matches, but in between. Kind of do something like, oh, you know, on this episode of Monday Night Raw, in the second hour main event, this is what took WWE over the top and started beating WC. You know what I mean? Like, kind of do something like that. So, like, in between, they kind of talk about a certain match, and then you play it like a Nitro match on and then you'll play a Monday Night Raw match, then a Nitro match, and then you'll play some pay-per-views from both sides. You'll play some pay-per-view matches. That would be cool. Like, it'd be cool to have to be able to play the match where Hulk Hogan became a heel. That would be actually pretty cool. You know what I mean? Like, I think that would be cool to be able to play that match when Hulk Hogan became a heel and they formed NWO. I think that would be really, really slick. I think that would be really, really slick. So, I mean, we'll see. But again, at the end of the day, for me, this is still 2K. It's still a matter of the game's fun factor. That part of it is very important to me. I want to be able to have fun with this game, and fundamentally, I know that it's still the same game. So either the mode can be enough for somebody to play through over and over and over again. Because when I played WWE 2K16, for example, I played the Stone Cold Showcase over and over and over and over again. I have lost count at through the years how many times I've gone back to replay that showcase mode. And it was a robust showcase mode. There was a lot of matches. And I also feel like you do need to have a lot of matches in this showcase to make it worth our while. This can't be a showcase or whatever mode they're going to do. This cannot be something that you can get done in like quick succession. Like you can't. It can't be, oh, I played this for an hour and beat it. No, no, no. This has got to be a satisfying mode because the WWE 13 Attitude Era mode was also pretty. It took a while to get through, so they're gonna have to do something like that. So I mean, I don't know, but it also kind of throws in a different dynamic as well. If they're focusing right now on this being the marketing of the game, and they really haven't talked about much. We've heard that they're adding in the draft, but it hasn't really come from 2K that they're having the draft in the universe mode. It does make you wonder, all the other things that fans have wanted in this game, are they going to be added into the game because we haven't heard anything? In my opinion, I don't know. I don't know. I've been in marketing before, so yes, this is good to market, the Attitude Era and Monday Night Wars. It's great to do that because then, like I said, you get people like me intrigued or you get fans hyped, people who are still playing the game. So, would you do this? Or would you first kind of tease, hey, we finally been listening and promos are going to be better in universe mode. There's going to be more of a spontaneous moments happening in universe mode in terms of like storyline. We're adding in triple threat rivalries, fatal four rivalries, what is it? What else? Staple versus staple, like faction versus faction, rivalries. I would, I would probably talk about that a little bit too early on to really get people like, oh, wait, what? But we haven't heard anything. And it does make me wonder how much will be focused on what fans truly want in the game. Nobody asked for the Monday Night Wars, whatever they're going to do with it. Nobody asked for Attitude Era, whatever they're going to do with this whole thing. I mean, it's all one and the same. I don't know why I'm separating it, but nobody asked for this. It's a cool little bonus. But again, I feel like I almost would have kind of sweetened the deal and waited until I announced all that other stuff and then hit people with the, oh yeah, and by the way, you got Attitude Era Edition, you got Monday Night Wars Edition. This means something and it's going to be big. And I would tease something like that. But first, I would get out of the way. Hey, fans, you've been asking for this. We did this. At the end of the day, before I end this video, one of the things that I think 2K suffers with, people, you can look at it both ways. It's a good thing and a bad thing. WWE 2K has a lot going on in it. I will give it credit that there's a lot of modes to choose from. There's something for everybody, right? However, it also creates this dynamic where because there's so much to choose from, there's so much to work on. And so how do you kind of pick and choose what to do when you have so much going on in your game? You have My Rise that takes a process of coming up with the storyline, takes a process of coming up with all the cutscenes, everything that involves My Rise. Also, will they finally get rid of the cell phone thing in My Rise because fans don't like it? Will they finally not force people to stand there and just talk to wrestler A and then talk to wrestler B and but like will they get rid of that? Will they make it more of a free roam aspect that fans have been wanting? I don't know. Right? I don't know. You have my GM, you have universe mode, you have my faction, you have the island, which they're going to expand upon and add to, and you're going to be able to do more. And then you have the showcase. I mean, there's so many different things, and now you might have two different showcases. So what did it leave room for them to work on that fans really truly wanted added into the game? And that's the aspect that I'm coming from. I'm not trying to hate. I'm just trying to bring out a different perspective. Make you think about things a little bit more before we get too excited and too hype about this. Is it going to be where this is the selling point? Guys, we did this. Are you happy? Now, I will say this before I end this video. There's a couple things that 2K can do to get me to buy this year. Not day one, probably not even the first month, but this is what 2K can do to get me to buy this year. If they do change up my Rise and make it free roam, because I like playing my Rise. If they do my Rise and make it free roam and you can do, you can do your thing, okay, we'll see. We'll see, right? If they make my Rise where you can pick an existing WWE superstar and not have to create somebody, I doubt that. But that can get me to, all right, wait a minute, I'm opening my wallet a little bit, because of this whole feature with the Attitude Era Monday Night Wars. Because if it's good enough and it's fun enough, maybe it could be something that I play over and over again like I did the other showcase modes that I really enjoyed. But again, it's still 2K. So this is all hypothetical. This is all hypothetical. As of right now, I'm still not going to purchase the game. I just don't play 2K anymore. So we shall see. Let me know what you feel in the comments section, man. It's your boy Soul Drum 86, and I'm out. Peace.